it's a team that will make me wake up during the night and just maybe like how do I actually how do I motivate players?
Right. So here I am with DMC, the recently picked up coach for SSG Academy. It's another one of these. DMC, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, brilliant, never better.
Glad to hear it. So you're a relatively new pickup to this SSG Academy. Just for like the sake of timeline, were you picked up before or during or after the roster moves made on this team?
Um, the day after, I've only been here for the past 4 days.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
And what was that pickup process like? Because I know Aimkey briefly talked about how Callout's been a bit more involved with this SSG Academy roster this time around, as opposed to like Element One where they were pretty hands off. This time, much more involved, and Aimkey mentioned that you were like recommended or like in some fashion in contact with Callout and then brought towards the SSGA guys. Is that true? Am I off base with that?
Yes, you are. Well, that's true. What MK told you true. So I messaged call it with my portfolio, telling him what I do, and the way and how I'd like to train, and both all of those philosophies, like training and how we develop players, sort of closely interlink with callouts, way and how
Okay.
to do it. So it's not like we're identical as coaches, but the way and how we approach it is definitely similar, and that's like he's seen that, and he definitely seen that maybe he can develop me and. Uh, you know, form me into a better coach strategy wise. Um, so yeah, that's why he brought me on, and I hope I can prove that over time.
Yeah, and I've also heard from the interview with Trevnek, because I've interviewed like two of your players now, that you're a bit more that SSG Academy is a bit more of a long term project. Obviously, winning E2 would be great, but you've got your sights set on a much more long term like growth plan. Is this
Oh
true? And
yeah.
like, what is the long term goal for this project?
So the long term goal for this, or the short term goal for the project is definitely to make do well in Element Two. We just want to develop players. We want to make the potential like known to all these players because all these players are great players.
Yeah.
We're following the sigmoid curve, so right now we're only at the introduction level. So the activity and time management isn't really a necessary factor. It's more about attention management. So just getting the attention on the right aspects of the game. So more or less, that's just the universal attributes. So the communication, the structure, stuff like that is key. That will win us games as a foundation, just being built strongly. And building the mental factors with that foundation. So the because universal attributes of the game they collapse if a mental attribute isn't there. So if you like take for example, let's say a player is having performance anxiety, he might put himself into like a mental box, and from that he might not communicate as freely or creatively or have adaptation ideas. And we'll just try develop that into the team to be able to make everybody creative, not be boxed in, and just come up with ideas and their team be theirs.
All right. And so, from that answer, it sounds like you're a bit more focused on the mental and fundamental side of coaching rather than being like a super tactical chess master that like gives the secret strat or secret adaptation that'll, win you the round or win you the game. Which obviously, I'm sure you still have your strategic chops, but it sounds like you're more focused on that mental aspect.
Like to an extent, yes. So it's hard to say that, for example, we can go through many different blueprints and many different ways on how we can, you know, be better strat wise, but all of that will sort of collapse into each other if we don't have that universal foundation, as I was talking about. And so, we have to come up with a structured philosophy. We're coming up with that right now and how we're going to basically play as a team. Because it's easy to say this person plays here, but when, can I swear?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swearing and trash talk is encouraged. I am an instigator.
Um, but when shit hits the fan, how do you guys actually play together? And that's what we're trying to form. How do you guys actually play together? And yeah, again, building that creativity, allowing them to be enjoy the moment, and not have that mental box, and just allowing them to play is a way in how we can make them play together because it's basically shining their personalities and their creative sides. So
Right.
yeah, definitely. When you say I'm 100% strategy, I'm more development.
Okay. And so like for someone who's seeing this first look at the new SSG Academy, what would you say for like a general viewer who doesn't know too much about the game? What would you say to like look out for when this team is playing and like what to watch on this team? Obviously, don't counter strike yourself, but like just some general
Uh,
stuff.
just how the players. Why point out how the players are just like next round mentality. It's one of the best next round mentality teams I've ever been on. We lose a round, it's next. We're okay. How do we develop that round in the prep phase, and then we're on to the next round. It's next round mentality. Um, Another thing you'd be looking out for is just the way and how we can form together in like a narrow sort of standpoint very quickly, and then how we can widen out. Like we do that pretty quickly and quite conveniently, and that's just due to the fact we've practiced communication quite well in the past 4 days. Um, so yeah, those are the two aspects. We very good team play when it comes to narrow and wide plays, and the way and how our mentality just is really good. It's really good mentality in that team.
Right. And how would you like explain for someone uninitiated what a narrow play is and what a wide play is? Like what are they and what's the difference?
So an arrow play is where, for example, so let's say you have a trigger call, right? So I don't know, let's say for example, tackle, right? Let's say your trigger call is tackle, right?
Okay.
So from that, players will then start to become more narrow, to become buddied up, and become like very refrag heavy, right?
Okay, I see.
Now, if you want to become sort of a single players, and you want to be super wide and maybe initiate gunfights in a single hand, but also in a team sort of surrounding, you can have like an auto trigger call. You can maybe have, I don't know, chips or whatever.
Yeah.
And from that, you become super wide. You become basically taking single gunfights, but in the range of refrag. You're not in a refragable position, but it's a refragable area based on the strategy around it. So that's what happens.
Okay, okay. Yeah. And, for this team, what are the expectations coming into this new meta? Obviously, new meta is delayed due to update issues, but like coming into this new meta, like how has that affected the way that the team is playing or like practicing or how their structure has been, or has it just been consistent and it's more focused on like those fundamentals more than messing with the meta and trying to get like cheeky with it?
Well, of course, the meta change will have some sort of impact on us. It would be hard not to consider. We did scrim on the TTS for the past 5 days. However, as we are just focusing on the universal attributes, so no matter what the meta is, no matter what the map is, no matter what the character is, everything that we're learning is pretty much just solid. Um, it should have least impact on us, considering, yeah, again, doesn't really matter what the meta is. If we went super in depth in strategy right away, then it would, because we would have turbo or whatever in the strategy, or we could have ideas without fragments. The fact that we've just been focusing on structure, communication, and all that type of thing, it really does give us sort of an advantage going in. No, that's obviously expecting the teams win in and just did blueprint and never followed the sigmoid curve. If they did, well then we're pretty much at an even playing field and we look forward to playing in the match. Um, but yeah, we're just going through team development phases, and from that, we are at a stage where we can play in year one, season one, and have the exact same outcome. So
All right. And, looking a bit more towards just the field of competition for E2, what are your thoughts on some of these teams now that we have all the rosters locked, the shuffle is over, at least for Element? What are your thoughts on the competition and some of these new look teams?
some of these teams look scary. Some of these teams look really scary. But I have a lot of hope and a lot of we have a lot of quality in the team to be able to see these teams through. We definitely have learned a lot in the past few days. So the more and more we learn through Element Two, the more and more we sort of do the building block strategy of team development. The more and more we will improve as a team, and hopefully we will become the top dogs of the tournament. Um, are we there right now? I don't see it. but I see it in a few weeks' time. We may be, um, but it's just time. Yeah, got time constraints, and we just have to concentrate on attention management because right now our time constraints. If we worry about time management very much, it won't do us any beneficial. So we just have to worry about attention management and how we categorize our attention to many different things, rather than just going in and just playing scrims to play scrims. It's no, that won't work.
Right. And so some of those like scary teams, who are they? Is it like the obvious answers of the Carnincos, or is it a sleeper
Yeah,
hit? Who are they?
Carrico. I think Carrico's very scary. I think that team is just it's a team that will make me wake up during the night and just maybe like how do I actually how do I motivate players? You know, how do I
Yeah.
motivate players to play against them? But I think again, we don't play them today, so we'll have time to develop, and hopefully by the time we play them, we will be in a place where we can okay, we have a good chance to actually destroy these guys. Because right now I don't think we'll beat them, but it doesn't mean that it's scary.
Yeah. Anyone else? Like, I know some people are putting respect on Alpha Theris or Certified Lover Boys, but there's like, are there other teams out there that are scary as well?
No, no, it's literally just Karen Cole. Other teams I feel like we can beat. Yeah, but yeah, again, I like a lot of these boys are motivated to learn, but if the players start to feel a little bit less motivated, the story here will be pretty much short.
Okay.
So yeah, we're motivated to learn and motivated to beat every team that's in our way, and we just want to develop to be the best players possible. If we don't win, like if we don't win this tournament, let's say, but we develop to be the best team possible, as you said at the start, it's a long-term team. That's still a win in our eyes. So
Okay.
we won't put too much pressure on us winning this entire tournament.
Got it. And then to close out this interview, is there anything you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out or challenges to issue? Anything like that?
Well, I just want to shout out the boys because like they've been a great group of lads to work with, very coachable. Um, like for example, Foco has been very good in he's very good in his IGLing. He's got a great mind for the game. MK, yeah, again, brilliant mind for the game. Jet and Godville, they're just aim gods. They'll hit it in. You can throw a pin up in the sky and they'll shoot it. And Trev is just, yeah, again, brilliant player, brilliant player.